Self-care. As mentioned above, the kinds of healthcare predominant on your planet now are based in a model of the human body and human health that holds it as a machine made up of many parts that are bound to break down at one time or another. Your approach to healthcare through that lens holds, in fact, that disease is inevitable. This plants in your mind that none of you can avoid becoming ill and remaining that way until you die. This situation is a critical one to shift at this time in your evolution. It reflects the vast scope and the depth of human disempowerment, and it is time that you choose to empower yourselves in all possible ways at this juncture in time. There are, in truth, two forks in this road of empowerment that I have mentioned several times in this teaching, and it is all up to you which one you choose. All of you have many lives being conditioned to feel disempowered, and many of you have in your various lives taken steps not to have your sense of self and sense of empowerment swallowed by ideas about who you are and who you are not that have been thrust upon you. Each and every one of you can choose to overcome millennia of disempowerment, and you can do so in any moment. The choice is not merely yours to make, but it is simply critical that you grasp that it is each and every moment that you have a choice on how you will proceed. Each choice that you make further solidifies a level and direction of intentionality that you express as a divine being. This is to say that you send the universe a message, but it is really a command each time you make a choice. When you choose from a place of I am less than, or a disempowered place, you command the universe to treat you like someone who is unaware of and or unwilling to inhabit your true self, or someone who is willing to be treated in disempowering ways. Life and the universe then respond by matching your vibration, by heeding this command that is centered in your energy field and is thereby expressed as a divine command. You, after all, are incredibly powerful in your intentions, desires, and choices, and the arena of health is a major way that your lives are shaped by your power. When, on the other hand, you decide to issue commands to life and the universe that you choose to be empowered, things work differently. You have all heard of people who have become drastically or fatally ill after receiving some majorly distressing, depressing, or debilitating news. You have also heard of people who are diagnosed with a fatal condition and overcome it to live for years or decades. You marvel at their strength of will, and many of you allow them to inspire you in one way or another. But the truth is that they are just like you, as are those who seem to give in to their situation and submit to debilitating or fatal illnesses. One note I wish you to keep in mind as you read this section, and it is a very important one, is that when humans get very ill, there is a tendency in you to believe that you have done something wrong to deserve it. As I here tell you in various ways that you are responsible for manifesting all the situations that you experience, the part of you that assumes or suspects that you have done something wrong and therefore deserve to suffer will surely come forward to be heard. It may resent me for saying these things to you, and it perhaps will increase the negative judgment of self by turning up the volume knob on its criticisms. Please open to seeing these situations through your spiritual eyes and shed the idea that there is a divine being waiting to punish you for doing something wrong. The only one who can punish you is you. So when I speak about each individual being responsible for his or her circumstances, it is because you, as portions of all that is, the divine, set out to create all manner of human experiences for yourself, to learn what it is to be human and live lives on earth, and experiences that are difficult and painful are part of that agenda for each and every being. When it comes to the health of your being on all levels, there is something critical for you to grasp. Some of you have learned this, and learning more about how it plays out in your life and how to work with it to increase and maintain your health on all levels. For others, it will be a new idea. Your physical body cannot help but manifest what is going on energetically, including emotionally, in all of your other bodies. As energetic beings, you humans are much more than your physical bodies. Yet you tend to identify in important ways with them, and so when things begin to happen with your physical bodies that are not normal, you are somewhat perplexed about why it would be happening. I invite you to learn all you can about yourselves as energetic beings and how and why energetic dynamics in your field manifest in your physical bodies. This is a major next step in the evolution of your consciousness, because you are ready at this stage in your evolution as divine beings, remembering who you are to understand all the levels on which your energy and your power of creation work within and outside you. When you carry an emotion for a long time, it holds space in your energy field. After a while, it can begin to manifest physically depending on the energy center, you call them chakras, with which it resonates, and also sometimes because of where in your energy body and physical body it happens to be stored. For example, it can happen that an energy or emotion that relates to your third chakra or solar plexus is stored in your back or shoulders, close in physical proximity to your fourth chakra, the heart center. The variations on such localizations is endless, and in each individual, it deserves specialized attention to see what is being held where in the body. But in time, your physical body manifests an issue because of this stored energy. You can store and carry energy your whole lives, and this is in fact the basis of disease. There are excellent medical intuitives on Earth now who have been working on these issues and working to educate you humans for years, and I encourage you to find them and learn all you can from them. You, however, have been trained to see the body as a machine that is always potentially ready to break down. Looking at it this way, you spend a tremendous amount of energy addressing what is not working while failing to see what has caused the situation in the first place. The job of a medical intuitive is to see the original energetic, including emotional, cause in your history or biography, the root event or situation or dynamic that has generated the energetic imbalance in your field that you now carry that is manifesting in some way on some level, and help you see and enact routes to release the energy stored so that your physical body no longer needs to manifest the difficult and painful situation that it has because you have held the energy. Embracing the next step of human evolution involves essentially becoming a medical intuitive yourself. All humans have the capacity to do this. There are a few steps that need to be gone through, and the content and order will differ for various individuals, but seeing energy is the root of everything, and the cause of the thing simultaneously is an important step for all humans who are willing to take it. Such a step is one in the direction of empowerment, and it will free you from the limiting and limited view of your human body as a machine waiting to break down. As a consequence, you will be freed from your dependence on the destructive methods and modes of allopathic medicine, and your ideas about health and wellness and aging in general will free you up to enjoy your experience of being human on Earth in tremendous, life-changing ways. So this is a very exciting development for everyone, and one that everyone watching Earth who wishes that your evolution proceed and be a joyous experience for you is also excited about. Another contrast to offer you about how you manage your health is that you are now ready to take what you might call a systems view of your whole being that includes your physical body. Instead of approaching a part of your body that is not functioning optimally and looking at it in isolation as part of a machine that is not working, you would do very well for yourselves if you commit to learning about and beginning to understand the energetic dynamics that take place and affect all of your bodies. This relates to the goddess energy and the natural feminine that we have been exploring here, because the ways that you treat your body echo the ways you treat the natural world. The ways that you conceive of your body are applied to you, to other members of the natural world, and if you do not treat yourself as a web of interrelated systems, you cannot possibly understand the natural world and the earth itself as such webs, which they most certainly are. So how should you approach taking care of your body? Well, the first thing to say is that you need to remain in constant contact with it, and you need to hear the messages it sends. Just as I advised you to do out in nature, to open up to sensing what it has to say to you, what it is always offering you as messages. You are to do with your own physical body. I extended this invitation also to you in the section above on food, and whenever it comes to living more in balance on your planet in your body, this will be the starting place I advise, almost no matter what the question. It is that important and necessary for you if you are to come into and live in a state of balance. All of the messages that come from your body are relevant. Each tells you something that you need to know in the moment. You are accustomed or trained and conditioned to overlook or ignore or deprioritize such messages because of the commitments you have made in your life. This is to say that you are willing to do so because of the commitments that your mind has made about how you are supposed to and will live the plan your mind has set out for you. It is based in a mythology of progress, and you have been trained to reach for this goal and that goal, and actually go out of your way to disregard the feedback about those goals and your experience along the way that your body might be, but actually constantly is, offering you. Remember a time when you had a deadline at school or work, no matter your age or how long ago it might have been, and when you felt under the weather and not up to finishing it. Many times you did finish it. When you have done so, you have illustrated the impact of the conditioned mind being trained to value a goal or paper or deadline over your health and happiness. Speaking of that, you have also in many ways much of the time failed to see the link between health and happiness. These are two things that are mostly abstract for you, vague imaginings that you would like to have, but have been trained not to value enough to actually prioritize yourself. What you are ready to learn, and learn finally on the deepest levels, is that you cannot be happy or healthy if you are not happy and healthy. And this requires actively being in touch with all the parts of your being as feedback mechanisms, so that you know how what you are doing and choosing affects your being on all levels. When listening to your physical body as a feedback mechanism for how your choices and life are working for you, know that there are many ways that it can speak up. It also always offers you feedback of a minor kind before it escalates into something more major. It always does this. When people are diagnosed with major illnesses, they are often shocked because they notice nothing going on that could have alerted them to it. Yet the body and energy field in every single case did, in fact, send messages. It is just that the vast majority of humans have been conditioned not to hear these messages and, if they do hear them, to pay them no attention. And so why is this, you might ask? The answer takes us directly back to the fact that what cannot be controlled has every attempt made to ignore it in the world views that you have grown up in for the last 6 millennia. If it cannot be shaped, the thinking goes, then it is to be eradicated or shaped or forced into being a non-entity. The physical body cannot, of course, and obviously go that route. You need it in order to be alive. But you certainly can avoid, discount, and devalue the wisdom that it has to offer and is always offering. The cycles of the human body and the sort of wisdom it offers echo in your mind precisely the situation that you sought to leave behind when you got up into your heads and decided that what came from and appealed to your minds were the only things worth pursuing and putting attention on. In this way, you have always understood your physical bodies to be microcosms of the process of nature, but really of the natural world itself. If you could have thousands of years ago transferred your intelligence, mind, into some sort of data chip, as some of your science fiction has been exploring in recent years, you would have done so in order to cease having to experience the cycles of nature as they play out in your body. One level of this is the inevitability of your death, as when you began to resent nature and the earth itself for doing what seemed like punishment to you with weather events and the like that brought you suffering, you saw death as not part of the cycles of nature and therefore something that tied you to it, but as the ultimate punishment. Much has been created in your mythologies, religious and otherwise, to try to explain why death occurs, and this has taken place primarily after you initiated divorce proceedings against the natural world and the earth itself. Each time you sense something minor going on in your energy field or body, give it time and attention. Take the time to hear what is really going on and learn how to address it. In this way, you can prevent major manifestations of all kinds while learning about yourself as an energetic being. The more adept you become at tracing a physical manifestation to its energetic and emotional source, both from earlier in this life and from other of your soul's lives along the Earth timeline, the further into this next stage of evolution you will be opting to go. When it comes to how the majority of you treat your health issues, the mindset that has developed that generated and fostered the allopathic approaches to health is one you are now ready to leave behind. This mindset is willing to destroy the body in stages based on its micro-machine part model of understanding what the body is, rather than take time to figure out how to work with the systems of the body in order to support its healing. This model of health is based on destruction, just as is the model of business that has developed in many Earth cultures. Take a few moments to tap in with the level and depth to which you have been conditioned to accept that destruction is necessary for progress. There is not an arena of human life that has not been touched by this idea, by this thought form. And the more you are willing to destroy in general, the more you are willing to destroy yourselves. See the link between being willing to participate in certain aspects of modern life, with their inherent reliance on destruction as a means to progress, and see that participating in any process of destruction destroys you. You are altogether all that is, yes. But what I mean is that you are living in a connected system of life on this planet of yours. The more that you are aware of this, the more you are connected to the goddess and aligned with the natural feminine. The natural feminine is in one way found when we access the level of awareness, when we can see that all is connected. Yes, it is more than an awareness. It is seeing the fact of this connection and then living in a way that reflects that it is seen.